What up? So here we are again, star date 347, rounded to the nearest decimal point. And LOL, how about that spree yesterday? God, I have the worst luck, don't I? I mean, come on. That was bad. So, yeah. Guess today doesn't have to be a rant, but I will say this. I am frustrated about one other thing. Here's the thing, we're strategizing. We don't have the advantage of playing this game for, decades, knowing every little sort of little like fine print details of all the different things that potentially could happen. And one of those things is that this is something important y'all may want to note. So we are talking about leader buffs. Well, I'm going to share a little bit of info about what's happening on the high level PvP game. And a lot of you people have probably seen my PvP videos. Maybe you've seen some other high level play. But PvP only lasts 2 turns. Okay, now some of my buddies were kind of in disagreement about this whole thing. Like, we go back and forth. Some guys are like, no, dude, this is the way it needs to be, blah, 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 blah. But thing is, when you're strategizing, you're building a team, you do it based on the information that CG gives you, They tell you this and that, and you believe it. Like, for instance, you say, Akbar, Qui-Gon Jinn, one other person gives speed to scoundrels. But you see these as like, okay, they give speed leader buffs. That's going to make a huge difference for me. Okay, I'll do that. Well, here's the problem. That can be a little misleading. Since the fights only last for 2 turns, and pretty much it's over. It's been decided, and that's because there's so much blow-up damage at the high-level PvP, and there's not enough health to compensate. You don't get a long, drawn-out... There's no reason to have a 5-minute timer. Now that I'm 60, I realize why they didn't have it. They had it at 3 minutes. But then they changed it to 5 because of all the new players, because all of us new players coming into the game, they didn't want us to have a bad experience. We needed those 5 minutes. Now, you don't need that 5 minutes. You need 2, if that. 3 was pretty much the perfect number. So, what's going on is that you sort of strategize. Oh, okay, so it's become sort of a speed game now. And that's important to note. So it's become sort of who's the fastest. And that is why, a lot of people aren't really going to admit this. I don't think they want to. Maybe they love Poe. I got no problem with Poe. What I have a problem with is the fact that he's pretty much the only one in his tier. He's pretty much in a class all by himself as far as counterparts go. So it's a little bit problematic because this game at high levels has become such a level of speed. Now, we've got people coming up with all sorts of different counters, and some of them are working, but unfortunately, to beat a Poe team with a solid backline like First Order TIE Pilot, Phasma, or Old Ben, and Poe, these guys, they're deadly. They are truly deadly, and they'll put you down quick. What's going to happen is you're going to get stun locked. Now, Poe does have the highest tenacity in the game, so people are saying Qui-Gon Jinn really consistent. I have Qui-Gon Jinn. He's as maxed as he can be. I do get resisted a lot by Poe. Max level gear Poe. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got a personal problem, but I don't know. Poe has the highest tenacity in the game, with a passive that increases that even more. I'm not sure that I believe that my experience isn't valid here. Qui-Gon Jinn has reasonably high potency. At 80, he's still getting resisted. The person with the highest potency in the game would probably be Dooku. Yeah, he's the one. You know, we're going to have to kill this guy, because he's going to go next. Alright, so. Alright. So here's the thing. What kind of frustrates me is that, guys are out there trying to make up good team comps, and they realize that it's all about speed. You know, you go after Qui-Gon Jinn, or you go after Akbar, and you think you're going to make your Han faster than Poe. That would be a huge investment to be better than Poe. A huge investment. It's two characters. They need to be fully geared. Akbar needs stars, and Han does too. You cannot play those guys. It is not like some team that you can just 5-star and you're going to kick ass. It's not going to happen. Han is extremely squishy compared to Poe. He's got much lower health. It's about the same resistances. Oh, damn it. This sucks. This team's going to blow me up. I can feel it. Alright, good. You just die. Alright. That's still kind of a problem, but we're going to reduce all their damage and they're going to be good to go. Alright. So, you kind of I planned on building a Jedi team, and looking at the speed and the stats, it wouldn't be broken, it wouldn't be overpowered if potentially were able to have the speed buff on the Jedi. They still wouldn't be the fastest characters in the game. They would be pretty darn fast. You would have to have Qui-Gon Jinn to do it, but it wouldn't break the game, so to speak, Well, apparently, in PvP and PvP alone, speed buff doesn't apply on the first round. And since PvP only lasts for 2 rounds, it activates as soon as they do their animation. So the initial speed meters are already there. So that means that Poe is going to go first. He's one of the fastest heroes in the game. I believe he has 138 speed. And as soon as he does, he's going to reduce your team's turn meter. So he's going to set you guys behind, and then they're going to have an entire rotation of full ability powers. There is not anyone that's fast enough to drop all of their like ability blocks and things like that to stop it. So you're in trouble. I mean, it's a rough situation. So, but the problem for me was that you make a plan based on what you're told. If you see something that says, hey, you get such and such leader buff, you assume that's going to affect the starting turn meter. Where's the fine print on that? These things need to be clearly outlined for players, because what happens is they go into these long-term investments of particular character strategies, and then you're screwed over. It's not just about Qui-Gon Jinn. It's actually more about Akbar and Han. That's the big one. Because that's a huge undertaking, I'm telling you. And I told my buddy, I said, man, he was kind of arguing the point against, having the speed leader buff work at the start. I said, your Han, at high levels, he's like, well, once I get him up there, I'll find out. I said, buddy, I got 6 stars max geared Han. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen for you. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. He's not going to go first, and you're going to lose. And Han is a lot squishier. He taunts longer, so he's got no way to pull out, so to speak, unless you got some healers behind him. Then you give up some damage, and you got to bring Akbar. And considering these damages, or these teams that are doing all this damage, they're not going debuff. So Akbar's whole heal you with debuff thing, that's not even going to come into play in the slightest. That's not even going to matter. So that That kind of sucks. And it's kind of disappointing because you make these plans, you know? And they just won't pan out the way you think they do. And there's really no sort of clarification on any of these points. You just kind of have to learn over the course of playing, like, oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, that might not work. You have to be very inquisitive and ask a lot of questions to players. But a lot of stuff we're discovering as we play. We did not know about the speed leader buff. People were surprised about that, but apparently working as intended, unfortunately. Now see, look at this. Did you see that? I had an AoE. Okay? So they were all going to take a reasonable amount of damage from that AoE debuff. Look, it's gone. Can you believe that? Wow. That's weird. So, anyways, you know, it's like me. I mean, here's the thing. Somebody argued the point that, well, if you let the speed leader buffs work before the turn meter, it would be OP, and then those teams would be too good. I have to disagree, because I've been really following the turn meters, or the speeds, and what they would be, and it is extremely reasonable. These guys, even with the speed they have, like, take the Night Sisters and their speed, dude, they still wouldn't go first. But it would help them out a heck of a lot. Jedi are not the meta. They are way... I mean, yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn is probably the best of them all. Qui-Gon Jinn is probably the best of them all. Of all the Jedi out there, he's probably the bestest. And he doesn't actually need Jedi teams because he just increases anyone's damage. So he's not really stuck on that role. He could be pretty good as a filler in any kind of team, but a lot of these other Jedi, it feels like they want to be with other Jedi. They want to team up with them. That's where they'll be the strongest. So, man, these 3-shots, I mean, it's working for me, but it's not supposed to happen. Now, I want to heal my first order TIE pilot. He's held strong throughout this. Now, watch them have stealth change this Galactic War again, because I'm not feeling quite the challenge that I was the other day. You know, could that just be luck with who I'm getting paired up against? Possibly. But, I don't know. Seems weird. Because usually by now we would have already faced a freaking 60s team fully starred that was about to wreck my face, and now look. Now we're having an easy day. This team's gonna get stomped to shit, I bet. Daka's cool. Don't know if she's really quite as viable in PvP. But sometimes she can be really squirrely. This time she won't have a chance in hell. I like to get an ability block on her because I like to not get blown up by her AoE or her single target. If I could kill him, but see, I don't want to get attacked right now. Okay, this is a problem. Damn it. I wonder if they're going to go after her. Oh, shoot. Let's try this, shall we? Dooku's still going to go first, isn't he? Could be a problem. Who's he going to go after? Ooh. Ew. Ow. Alright. Alright. Even better. That's great. That was awesome. That worked out so well. Now I'm not going to have Jack for heals next round. So let's hope Beard itches. But let's hope that things go well. But I hope you guys understand what I mean. I just think that, you know, there shouldn't be any gray areas. If something says it's going to do something, you shouldn't have to know the fine print. Like, oh yeah, well, you know how this is. They say that, but then it doesn't work this way. It's like, what the heck? Like, if it says increase the speed, would you guys not assume that that means it will increase the beginning turn meters? Because that's pretty much, on a high level game, pretty much the most important piece of the whole puzzle. Damn, this is not good. Gotta kill her at least. And then we need to kill him, but first order TIE Pilot's really the best of that. Okay, good place to put that. I'm glad you put it there. Okay, should I kill him? Yes, because she's going to heal him. Now I will kill you. See how tanky he is right now? That's going to change. Luminar is going to be tankier than him. Or getting as tanky as him. But he does have a lot of armor resistance, things like that. They're going to be pretty potent. Please don't shoot her 3 times if you don't mind. We got to get some heals going here. Darn. Well, still gonna heal everybody else. That basic attack you saw from Qui-Gon Jinn, he popped the chance for it to generate turn meter for him. Sometimes you can get really lucky with that. That's why he got to go 2 turns in a row there, basically. Pretty cool. There's no downside, really, to Qui-Gon Jinn. He doesn't have a lot of health. But, he's 7-star now. He's pretty solid. My roster's growing, you know. I have some other people that could come up. Man, how I wouldn't love a Count Dooku. Look, speaking of counters, my buddy came up with a Poe counter for some of our ranked teams. But here's how it works. You gotta have Sidious. That's fine. You'll have him. Count Dooku, 6-star. Qui-Gon Jinn, Leia, and Rey. Rey is only a 5-star, and Leia is only a 5-star. So there's something. And he was able to beat some of our higher level teams, but that's partly to do with Leia, you manually controlling her, making sure she attacks first. She's not going to be as good. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't even want to kill that clone trooper. I want to see how much damage he does. Wait, I want to go back and see what stars he was. I'm curious. I'm a big fan. Should we kill? Yes. Yes, we should. Oh, I don't want to kill you, buddy, but dang. If I leave you in CT5, you're going to have a freaking ball. Oh my god. They did. They just double teamed. That's awesome. That was 50% improved damage for both attackers, I believe. Damn it. Oh, man. And my curiosity is just getting the best of me here. I'm gonna lose for this. Yeah. We're gonna have to exploit. This is me being a hypocrite, I guess. I guess that is kind of hypocritical, isn't it? I mean, is it the same? It's not quite as... I mean, maybe on a small scale I'm affecting other people's gameplay, but... it's pretty benign. Well, can't we agree? This is pretty benign. I'm only hurting myself by not getting any better at the game, obviously. Hello, Al. People are saying my buddy's a character hipster. He's the one that talked about how talking about how awesome Poe was, and then now that Poe's good. Okay, so he's only a 5-star. He was doing pretty good damage. I can't look at that right now, dear. Love you. Bye. 5-star, man. And then the AoE. That was pretty cool. I mean, 5 stars. Have you guys seen my clone? Bro. He could be 6-star right now. He could almost be 7-star, for God's sakes. And he's got 3 places to farm his stuff. That could be a lot of fun for me. This team is really super tanky. Can Han handle the Flojo? I wonder. Can he even get there in time to tank? I guess these are all questions we will have to answer. Okay, well, now that I've seen what he can do, I'm pretty much going to beat the hell out of him because I don't care anymore. 5 stars. Huh. I mean, that really is intriguing to me. Sure, Han's great against a non-Poe team. Yeah, he's cool. I'm displeased with that, to say the very least. We're going to have to use this if we want to try to save Han. Okay, he may need a little upgrade. I may need to upgrade his basic attack a little bit. The next level increases it by 10%. Potentially he could do a significant amount of damage, but see, this taunt's gonna get him killed. He can't get out of it either. Yeah. He's really slow. He never even got a turn there. He would have gotten healed a little bit if he had. But he pretty much won the round. Why are we doing this when we can just get a 5th man in right now? See? Now that's Haxor's. No point in fighting 4v1 with a counter. When we can 5v1. Never tell him the odds. Yes, I get it. We are all going to be slowed by the end of this. We get it. Boom, sucker. Yeah, people are talking about Poe, and, you know, the forums, man, are just not a good place to live. People there are... I mean, there's some really rational folks. There's some people who know the game, and then they're just freaking weekend warriors. Don't know jack. They own something, they're very defensive. They don't, and they hate it. Like, they're not middle-of-the-road type people. They don't get it. And, you know, people over here, like, people in my community, they are kind of ground-level people. Like, yeah, I don't like to see the same exact oh, my God. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, this is a real problem. Okay. We're going to have to decide how we want to do this here. I don't have enough taunt breaks for the both of them. We're just going to have to go at them like we do. Oh, good. He doesn't have a taunt up. Okay, they're dead. You're in trouble now, pal. We need to kill you. Bye, sucker lips. yeah, what the guys were saying on there, they're kind of middle of the road. People are like, yeah, it gets kind of boring when you see the same people. I don't think people need to be nerfed or destroyed or ruined. I think that other heroes need to be elevated. There are some heroes out there that are just non-factors in this game. And look, that may mean that they are kind of viable and people just haven't discovered them yet. Sometimes you got to give a buff out and take it away just to get the community on it. You've really got to play around with the heroes and giving us more updated. It would not upset people. Like if people could get used to you just offering, okay, we're gonna add this month and see how it works. We're gonna add this like every couple weeks, kind of shaking things up a little bit. I think people would enjoy it more. I would, and you guys can comment what you think. But yeah, I would definitely like to see a little bit more versatility in some of the better heroes. I'd love to see more people come out and shine, and I don't know if we're gonna see that, but you know, it is what it is. So we have some people here that could be up and coming. Kit Fisto's 6-star now. Ayla Secura is 5, almost 6. My CT5s, he needs 180, so he's 7 away from being 6-star. 7 shards away. Got the Clone Trooper. I mean, I liked what I saw there, especially the assist damage off of CT5s. It was lucky. It's a 25% chance, 1 in 4, that he pulls in another clone, because there's only one other clone in the game. But it was good damage, and that's because combined fire, if you didn't know, the assisting ally is a clone both attackers, both people do. It's not just 25%, it's 50% on both of them. So that's like 100%. That is double what Qui-Gon does, because Qui-Gon only increased 50% damage of the person that's joining him. Okay? So I believe Ayla has something similar. Yes. If the assisting ally is a Jedi, they deal 50% more damage. That's pretty good. Especially if you mix that with Phasma and you have a pretty heavy Jedi team, then you've got a pretty solid chance. 16% plus 30, I think, maybe is her max out. Plus, she's actually going to improve at level 70. Her new her basic attack gives her an even better percentage chance. So, anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Just let me know what you think in the comments regarding speed and some of your thoughts about it. But that is something to consider in a future team, and you pretty much want to take the Excel sheet from SWGOH and just arrange by speed. And that'll give you a good indication of who's going to drop first. And if you're going to beat certain teams, you really still need to be kind of a speed team. I'm not seeing too much develop from outside the the speed team setup. So, but hope you guys can come up with some alternatives to kind of break this meta, because, I could really use a change. So, later guys.